Gather round, friends, new and old, and welcome to the Roast and Toast podcast. We are your hosts, Philip and Jennie.
I love it when you buy into the Jennie. It's so good. It's so good.
Listen, you've made it iconic, and it's been around for so long, and I am all for it, so I can't help but occasionally use it and steal it when you are with me or when I'm not around you. So it's catchy.
And it's said with love. It's not one to make. It's. I think that intention is really important, especially in nicknames and pronunciations.
Yes.
So the thing that happened for me this week is one of those mundane things that happens to everybody, I think, or maybe it's just me. Mm-hmm. I finally made this doctor's appointment, as in I finally arrived at it, which is embarrassing. When it's my generic doctor, it's just my general doctor appointment. I missed the previous two appointments at like each sphere.
Philly.
I know. And there's no excuse. My reason was that I just kept missing it on my calendar. And they'd send me prompts, they'd send me everything, and then I'd wake up in the middle of the day and I'd say, what a wonderful, beautiful morning. Oh, what did I? No, again. And I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I missed this appointment. I need to reschedule. And so finally, the one that I make, Jennie, the one that I actually am there for, is the one which doesn't mean anything to you, but the one that I make at the morning is at 7:20 a.m. I did, when she first offered me that appointment, and she's like, "Yeah, it's that one or the one the following week." I was like, "Are you sure? Is that even an actual appointment?" I didn't even think that offices could be open prior to 8 a.m.
An actual appointment?
Is that an actual appointment slot? Are you just like opening up extra early to punish those of us who have missed twice in a row? Because honestly, either way is an acceptable answer. I just want to know that I'm being punished before I get spanked here publicly in the doctor's office. I need to know that going in. God, but I'm glad that I went. I was able to do the rare occasion where you're actually feeling something when going into a doctor's office where I feel like normally you make an appointment retroactively to fix something that you were going through like a week, 2 weeks, whatever it was that when you first made the appointment. This was the rare occasion where I needed an annual wellness check or whatever, and I went in and I was able to actually address the thing I needed. That was very fortunate. Waking up at 7 at 6 in the morning to get to my 7:20 appointment was not fortunate, but everything else beside it was. What happened to you this week, Jennie?
Well, I got to check a little unofficial bucket list item off this last week. I went to my first WNBA game. Yes,
you did. I saw that on the socials. How was it?
It was really fun, actually. I do love basketball games. I think there's a lot of great energy. It always comes from every crowd that I've witnessed. I've mostly been to collegiate basketball games. I haven't had the pleasure yet of going to a Suns game, actually. But going to a Mercury game was super, super fun. The crowd was wild, and the game was very exciting. The friends who I got the tickets from had said that they love this crowd and they love this team. It was very exciting to watch. So I agree with that statement. Getting to see icons like Diana Taurasi play, hearing that 3 of our team members are going to the Olympics this summer, they're going to Paris, is so iconic. So Phoenix Mercury, I mean, we can't slap a sports team because that's not a part of our criteria, but Phoenix Mercury slaps.
They do certainly slap. Funny enough, I went for the first time to a Mercury game myself last week with my sister and her partner.
Oh, no way.
I completely understand what you're saying. That crowd is, funny enough that you only went to a collegiate. I was going to liken it to that. I was like, it's a collegiate feel in a professional setting. It's the perfect marriage between the two because they get to be so passionate. That fan base is much more personal, and it's still in the growing phases where it's not like all corporate schmozos, bozos. So they are able to actually be like legitimate emotions, but because of the crowd, because it's the WNBA and they have such a unique crowd where they are very accepting and everything, you don't get the riffraff is what I would like the Raiders fans, the Cowboys fans, where they're just there to start a fight. Like these people will fight you and then hug you afterwards and say, "But we love you, girl." And I love that for it. It's been the most accepting fan and sports experience I've ever had. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm so glad that you had to have that experience, and it was a first time for you.
Thank you.
Let's get to our main topic with a first time guest experience here. Ooh.
Woo. All right, on to our main segment this week. We are doing a Would You Rather episode where Philly and I have collected Would You Rather scenarios to ask each other and to see what our answers would be. But before we begin, we have a brand new Roast and Toast guest joining us this week. He is a wonderful friend and a very talented performer, I'd like to add. Please welcome to Roast and Toast, Kevin Fenderson.
Woo-hoo.
Kevin, how's it going?
Welcome in, Kevin. Oh, Kevin, you had such a hype. And he found himself, he did the thing, he muted himself. He kept himself muted. He's got to unmute.
No, you muted him.
Okay, that's true. That's
him.
true. Well, hold on. Let's clarify this. I muted you before we started this whole recording. So that way it doesn't seem like, welcome in, Kevin, and then I just maliciously clicked the mute button. That's not what happened. Let's not twist this to where it's like, welcome in, Kevin. Ha, 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 ha.
No. It was like you did this right before you muted me.
Yes, I did twirl my twiddle my fingers maniacally, but that doesn't mean that I did that long ago.
Right.
Long ago. Well, welcome in, Kevin. This is a wonderful introduction, a very unique introduction to the podcast. But welcome in. So glad to finally have you. Mm-hmm. We were talking before the podcast. You and me specifically have had interactions we've seen of each other. We've been like, oh yeah, I recognize that. Yeah, so I'm glad that we finally get to have you on the podcast, and also on a Would You. It's a very learn how everybody would interact and what type of person you are episode. So I'm glad to have you in on this. Please feel free.
This feels like a very auspicious occasion, really. Like I'm very excited. So much so that I used a big word that I don't really know what it means.
But you're hoping that it's appropriate.
I was gonna say, what does that mean? I don't know what it means.
Don't ask me.
I like it.
Well, let me get started. I have a question for Jennie, and I think, Kevin, you'll have an interesting answer if you want to join in here. Okay. Jennie, would you rather not be able to shower/bathe for 1 month? So not too much, not enough to where we're getting medical problems, but enough to where it's going to be noticeable. Or not be able to brush your teeth for 6 months.
Oh no.
Kevin viciously reacted. He took it aback. He walked it back. And keep in mind, I just want this also for the context of not only the viewers, but also for Kevin as a reminder. Jennie, you have a man. You have a man who's with you. You have Mr. Friend of the Podcast, Matt Crum, and he's got to live with the consequences of this too. I mean, that's something to consider about this as well.
Well, I'm sure he'd be very understanding if I had to deal with either of these. Well, I'll go ahead and say now, I really wish there was a neither option because I like being clean. I'm just a very clean person. I'm the kind of person that has to shower every day, brush my teeth twice a day. So this is an awful question. Thank you, Phil. Great job.
You're welcome. The heebie-jeebies, sponsored by Roast and Toast.
I'm going to say, because I really do care about my dental health, I'm going to go ahead and say I will not shower for a month.
I had a sneaky suspicion that would be your answer, and I wonder if that's the common answer. Kevin, is that where you would have gone?
100%. Yeah.
Really?
When you said not brush your teeth for 6, like I felt the film just
that is true.
Cover and no.
I just saw the medical bill for 3 crowns pop up in my head, and I was like, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, that's fair and valid.
That is so funny. I honestly don't know if that is like the general answer. I think initially, until you put more thought into it, I think the generic washing is the alluring option. But you're so right. It's 6 months of not being able to brush your teeth would do damage. That certainly would do damage, unless you were to eat nothing but celery, I guess. I mean, I don't even know what you could eat that would not do damage to your teeth.
It doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter what you eat or don't eat. The point is that you let that bacteria just gather and gather. There is a loophole, though, maybe. It doesn't say you can't floss. So you could floss. But
look at Jennie getting up on her little dental podium.
I don't even want to, I don't even want to debate this. I am passionate that I am going to keep brushing my teeth.
Jennie's that 1 out of 10 dentist that Colgate is like, well, she's the last dentist, and she'll argue, but she's still here. She is definitely on the board.
I love my teeth too much. I can't do it. Okay, Phil. My first one for you is, would you rather date someone with their ex's name tattooed on their chest, or date someone whose ex lives next door?
Oh, I guess it depends. If she's got, it's a she too. So I'm looking at that chest a lot. Like, is it a long name? Is it like Alexander covering up the entire, from D to D? Like, is that what it's doing? Because I
Whatever variation of the name, it could be a small one, it could be large and in charge. It's just gonna be there. It's gonna stare at you.
Because if we've got Jim on here, like that's that's like, yeah, I can convince myself otherwise. Sam, like just a 3-letter. But if it's like we're talking William or we're talking Gaylord, just something that's gonna take from chesticle to chesticle, then I don't know what I'm definitely. Unfortunately though, I do think that this is again, it's a neither desirable answer, but I'm going to go for the lack of a neighbor. Very rarely are people, like, just as a generic answer, are people real cool with their exes. So just to avoid the drama that could possibly be there, and depending on even if they have kids, whatever, as a basic answer, I have to go with the tattoo, hoping that we're not getting both the first, middle, and last name on the chest that I just have to remember. At one point, this was a I don't even know, just a separate occasion that is unavoidable for what it is. Kevin, are you with me on this one?
So I think it's going to be a little bit different just because the gays, it's very much like a circle. So like everybody has dated everybody.
So you're saying you probably know the neighbor just by, and then you walked out of the morning after,
right?
And then that's how you and your boyfriend met this time. Got it.
Right. So it's. I mean, neither one is like awesome.
Yes.
But in my particular circle, I don't know that either would be necessarily bad. That's a tough one.
Kevin, have you ever met anybody with a name tattooed on them?
I have, actually, yeah.
I have yet. I have yet to have that one. That's not like owned by Jesus, like something that's not like a generic name, and it's not like she knew a Jesus before. So
right,
I have yet to
right.
really run into this. I've run into occasions where they're still living together. I've had that one, but I haven't had the tattoo one.
Yeah, no, I've had both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kevin, you're kind of like whatever floats your boat. I'm
as long as I'm getting some, I guess, is really like that's where I land on this one. Yeah.
All right, Jennie, as an adopted woman, would you rather find out that your real father is a serial killer, or that you once dated him for a month when you were in your 20s? Oh, we went from really shocked expression. Again, I love that this is an audio visual, but we went from a real shocked expression at the first prompt to the absolute definition of disgust for Jennie. Oh, she smelled that wet stinker. She smelled it all. She heard it, and she felt it.
As you've coined, Phil, I present always a banquet of emotions for every time I'm reacting to something.
A buffet of emotions. She's got it all.
Yes. I would say serial killer, because at least if they're a previous serial killer, then at least they've been put to justice.
You're not worried at all that could possibly be genetic? Like you're predisposed, perhaps, like even on the off 1% chance that happened, that is a thing. Like if you start to really enjoy a steak over at the Sizzler, you're going to start wondering, like, man, I wonder if this has anything to do with Dad. Urgh, give me that rare steak,
I'm sorry, I have to pause for a moment. The Sizzler?
Was it the Sizzler for you?
Are we in 1990s? Like what? What?
It was the first one that I could think of. I guess I could have gone Outback, but we don't have an Australian. I guess what do we have from the 70s audience either? I guess neither one was perfect. What's the current state? Fleming's? I could have gone with Fleming's.
Ruth's Chris?
Ruth's Chris. I'm sorry, Jennie. I should have given you more class than just the Sizzler.
All is forgiven.
The Sizzler.
I think Jennie enjoys a free salad bar as much as the next guy.
I haven't actually been to a Sizzler. I've never experienced.
Let me tell you,
Sizzler.
girl, you ain't missing nothing. I went there as a joke one time, and let me tell you, the joke was on me when I paid like $30 for a very, very mediocre steak. Very.
Oh, R.I.P. To finish our Would You Rather round here, I
Sizzler or
would say
Outback?
serial
No, that
killer.
wasn't
Yeah, Outback. But also, I would say serial killer because I feel like that'd be much easier to process personally, and I would be able to, if I have that inside knowledge, I would make sure that that my serial killer father would be held responsible for his actions. And yes, I can't handle like the other option. That would be way too much.
Because Kevin, if you're dating somebody for a month, there's no chance that you didn't, right? I mean,
Oh, 100%. Especially knowing who I am as a person. We're talking like days.
yeah, that was yeah. So it's been multiple times within the month for that whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going
So
serial
there's.
killer.
I think that's a real. This question is more of a determination on your sensibilities. Like I'm sure a lot of, devout people and whatever faith that practice abstinence. A lot of people are like, well, this is a real question, but like a lot, the other half of the population is like, I'll take that killer in me.
Yeah.
And I don't take that killer, whatever. Anyways, Jenny, go ahead.
Okay, Phil, would you rather give up traveling or celebrating holidays?
Oh, super easy. I'm giving up holidays. Do you know how many stupid holidays there are? Do you know how many stupid holidays? My girlfriend has a birthday on July 4th, and I am so happy. It's like another reason why I love her, because I get to excuse myself from 4th of July. Look, do I enjoy getting together with people? Yes. I don't need a holiday. I suppose we use holidays as an excuse, but I don't need holidays as an excuse to do so. And it's a lot of the time, the way that people celebrate holidays usually intrudes on my own way of celebrating it. Realistically, the only one I'm missing out on is Christmas. So it's like, would you rather have Christmas or would you rather have,
Or my birthday? Hello.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Which is the same day anyway.
Anyway, so that's I could just be like, let's celebrate Jenny's birthday in a very Christmas way. Free eggnog, But I'm not.
Wait, hold on. Here's the debate though. Then,
Okay.
Would you consider a birthday a holiday?
Again, unless we're going to Jesus's birthday, no, I don't think. I don't think that, as much as narcissistic as I can be, I should not think that my birthday is as a considered a holiday for most, even those who actually would be on the fence about it, which is like 2 people. And I don't think that it's going to be considered a holiday to most. It's a self-proclaimed day, yes, but it's not a holiday. So because of that, I will certainly do the opposite. Kevin,
Yeah, I don't, as someone who doesn't particularly celebrate holidays because I'm usually working them.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I would rather just get paid time and a half for no reason, I guess, than like celebrate holidays. Give me all the travel. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, are you going to be missing St. Patty's Day, like especially the next year, and you're like, oh God, I miss wearing green and telling people to pinch me. You can just tell people to pinch you every day now, Kevin.
Right. I can get blackout drunk any day. Like, I don't need a holiday.
There it is.
I don't need an excuse.
I don't need a little leprechaun telling me what to do. No, like, let's just get blackout drunk and pinch me. Like, it's really that simple.
Jenny, as a woman, would you rather have quadruplets or have, absolute fear, or have 4 babies all 10 months apart? So that log ride, that's coming out as soon as the tickets are available.
Oh my God!
As soon as you stitch one up, one's coming back out to unzip. It's coming.
Oh.
What are you doing, Jenny?
Oh boy! Like just 10 months. Wow. I mean, my brother and I are technically only 14 apart. So.
Rhonda was close, but
Yeah,
she'd have to
she
have 2
she
more.
was very close.
You'd have 2 more, a brother and a sister, 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
Well,
and she'd
I've
be
heard there's
walking
this
around.
thing that I've heard a lot of mothers say where once they've gone through the process of having one, they completely forget their experience and the pain that they feel when they go through childbirth. So, based on that description, I feel like it would be much easier process to just do 4 every 10 versus giving birth to 4 babies at once.
Oh my God. I could
That
not.
would just be like that. It makes me think of, oh my gosh, what was that woman's name? The woman that got really, really famous for having 8 babies. Octomom?
Octomom.
Octomom, yeah.
Yeah.
just that, thinking of that, oh, nightmare fuel. So I'd rather have 4 children every 10 months, so that way
Your
my
posture
body
would
can
never be
reset.
the same, Jenny. You'd
I
waddle
mean,
from
it changes
for
after
a
one.
continuous 40 months. Yeah,
Your
yeah.
body changes after 1, so might as well just, if it's gonna be in that 4, might as well just stay in it until we get through the 4. So that's my answer.
Kevin, it's unfathomable to us, but if you had to choose,
If I had to choose, I think there are obviously multiple factors that go into it. Like, are you a single parent? Is there like a partner in there as well? But regardless,
how does that play into? Oh, because then at least for 40 months you're guaranteed to have a partner support, I guess, as opposed to just doing it by yourself.
well, that and are you taking care of 4 kids at the same time by yourself? Like, that seems like a giant juggling act that I just don't have the patience for, and there's not enough vodka in the world.
Right, Gray Goose. You're gonna become the Gray Goose. The old,
Yeah.
white haired, everywhere.
I think I would rather do, just one every 10 months, and then that way.
Oh God. Oh,
Yeah.
God. I could not be more opposed to you guys. Like, get it all. Even if I'm a single parent and I'm just everything's popping out like that last peanut M&M out of the bag, and you're just trying to find it and squirt it out. Even if that's me, I just want all 4 right then and there. I'm taking care of all 4. Do you realize, like, if at 4, you have one kid at 4 and one, like, a baby still there, like that, you're even saying, like, I don't want to take care of all of them at the same time. Forget that. You have a 4-year-old and a toddler, like that, like, no matter when, there's no good age gap. I'd rather have them all so that way I can have all these kids and all these babies. I guess you'd save on clothes, and you wouldn't save on anything. I don't know. It's atrocious. It's an atrocious would you rather. Ugh.
It truly is. Well, I mean, you thought of it.
Yeah.
You clearly didn't think of the consequences of your actions.
Whoever thought of this was horrendous in their thinking. It was me, but just horrible person. Jenny.
Well, for my last one, speaking of consequences I might face, this is kind of a wild one. Phil, would you rather have a South Park themed wedding or a Family Guy themed funeral?
By far the toughest decision you presented me on now, Jenny. Both have their positives and negatives. Kevin, let's think about this together. So I'm assuming the wedding would have to be officiated by Kevin Cartman, right? That's the assumption?
Oh, it could be Cartman or Stan, whichever of the 4, or Kenny.
Oh, it probably...
I would think Kenny would be the best officiant, honestly.
But the thing is that Cartman has to be present because he's the most identifiable.
So what if you have Cartman as your wedding singer?
There we go. Now we're talking.
Oh, God. So you're just ruining the reception because he's going to make it all about him. But at least you get through the wedding.
Bonus points, like it's around Christmas time because in this scenario, we are celebrating holidays. So as you're walking down the aisle, it's just Cartman singing "Oh Holy Night."
That's so funny. That's so funny. I think my thought is the safe option is going to be Family Guy as your funeral. And so I'm going to go with that because I don't want to have to live... That's the safe option, because here's the thing, is that I at least know that Brian from Family Guy, the dog, is going to sing me a heartfelt, like, what is that? Oh, Danny boy. But he'll be like, he'll do whatever. And there'll be genuine tears. Like, there's moments in Family Guy where they have actual moments, so I can at least know that at the end of my episode, at my funeral episode, there'll be like a, aw, and maybe one like, da-da-da-da-da-da, as opposed to... South Park, I'm going to have to live with that. And it's not guaranteed that any episode ends on a good note. You might just be eating somebody else's wedding fingers because Cartman decided to go on revenge. So I'm going to go with the safe option of Family Guy, knowing that there might be a lot of chaos leading to it, but at least, hey, I won't be alive for it. So,
Kevin, which one would you go with?
So I do have a follow-up, just clarifying question. Is it like the entire series of South Park, or are we just focusing on bigger, longer, and uncut?
Oh, definitely spanning the entire series.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it was just the movie, I would be okay with the South Park wedding because that is one of the best movie musicals of the last like 30 years. celebrating the 25th anniversary later this month, actually. Fun fact.
Wow, that's wild.
I don't want to think about where I was when the movie came out. But if knowing that, I think I am going to have to go with Family Guy Funeral, just because I can hear Peter going, "Hey, Lois, he's in the ground now." And it just, I don't know, there's something about that.
Yeah, or that, like, tripping over, like, if your coffin, I mean, we're just diving right into imagining what this would look like. If your coffin was sitting there as there was final words, he would trip over and go, ah!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was, I realized there was no consequences. That was my favorite question. Kevin, would you like to stay for our mini segment?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get on to it. All right, our mini segment this week, we are diving into an old favorite. This is Blanks, where I have collected a passage that requires missing words. So we're going to fill in these missing words to complete the passage, and then I'll be reading it out loud for all the hilarity that will ensue. So this, let's see, gentlemen, let's start with our guest first. Kevin, can you please provide me a verb?
Oh gosh, you're making me remember what these things are. Dance. Dancing.
Okay, perfect. Phil, can you provide me an adjective or a noun? An adjective, it's a noun.
I was going to say, those are two very different things.
I know.
Noun.
The way this is set up, it's just do a noun. It's set up kind of weird.
I'm going to go with loincloth. Definitely falling on the thing side of a person, place, or thing.
Okay, Kevin, can you provide me a name?
PETA. Sorry, I'm still stuck in Family Guy.
Make sure to emphasize the H of PETA.
Yeah.
It's definitely not silent.
Phil, can you provide me an animal?
An orca.
An orca. Perfect. Okay, Kevin, another verb, please.
Skip.
How's your loo doing, Kevin?
My what?
Your loo, if you're going to skip to it.
Oh, okay. It had no complaints, really.
Okay, can I get an adjective, Phil?
Harry.
We need to have a couple of celebrity requests. Can you name off a celebrity for me, Kevin?
Now I'm stuck in Family Guy land, so Alex Borstein.
Hell yeah. Love Alex Borstein. Philly, give me a noun.
Scotland.
Okay, and then an adverb, Kevin.
Oh gosh. Hold on, I have to look up what that means. It's been too long.
I know. It's like super or awesome or really or...
Mystical.
This is about Betty the Blue Crab's trip to Baltimore, Maryland. Betty the Blue Crab loves Baltimore almost as much as Baltimore loves blue crabs. She loved dancing along the water by the harbor, riding the water taxi to Pier 6 to hear her favorite band, Loincloth, play a concert, and visiting her cousin PETA, who lives in the National Aquarium. Betty's favorite part of the aquarium was seeing the orca, and she loved the view of the black tip reef exhibit, but was skipping that the sharks thought she looked hairy. Betty was excited because she had tickets to the Orioles game after the aquarium, and she was going with her friend Alex Borstein. Alex Borstein was getting hungry, so they decided to get dinner. Alex Borstein asked Betty where to get a good crab cake. Betty didn't think that was very funny, but suggested Alex Borstein go to Scotland for dinner instead. It was a mystical great day.
Fantastic.
That
well
was
done,
Betty the
Jennie.
Blue
And well done
Crab's
to
trip to
us,
Baltimore.
Kevin and myself. Well done. So, Kevin, would you mind coming back and gracing us with your presence next week for a game? Would that be all right?
I think I could do that.
All right. Thank you. We will see you next week.
All right, Phil, it's time to hit the hay here and end this week's episode. But before we go anywhere, we have some people to thank. Thank you to Cassie Crossland and Jake Corling for all the music you hear on the show.
Thanks to Ryan Ardell and Josh Hans for a lot of the audio bits you heard throughout the show.
Thank you to Rudy Chuck for all of your wonderful graphic work that you see on all of our social media. Special thank you to our guest this week, Kevin Fenderson, for joining us. We'll see you next week, Kevin. Oh, you were a blast. Thanks for stopping by. And most importantly, thank you to you, our good friends, the listener, for always tuning in and joining us every week. If you are new to our podcast, welcome. We hope you stay a while. To keep in touch with what we are doing, please follow us on all of our social media platforms, the usual spots you will find us: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. On good old Roast and Toast Pod is our handle for that. And also you can find us to our social media as well as our streaming services: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, our YouTube channel, and oh, how could we forget? Not Pandora. Because screw you, Pandora. Screw you.
Did you know that there's only one Sizzler left? Yeah, except it's kind of located deep in the woods. The bears apparently love a free salad bar.